Welcome to Tired Mommy Revival. Hey mama, are you running on coffee fumes? Feeling like brain fog, fatigue, and anxiety are running the show? Do you wake up dreading the day ahead, already overwhelmed by the endless to-do list and unsure how you'll make it through? Do you long for the energy to enjoy motherhood and care for yourself, but feel stuck and unsure where to start? Let me remind you of something life-changing. You were created for more energy, more clarity, more joy. Hi, I'm Jerusha, certified holistic wellness coach, wife and mom to 2 wild boys and 1 baby girl in heaven. I know the exhaustion you're feeling because I've been there, barely making it through the day, relying on coffee and chocolate to survive, and wondering why nothing I tried ever made me feel better. Then, God stepped in and revealed a powerful truth. A woman's body is beautifully and uniquely designed to thrive. When we align with how God created us, we can boost our energy, bust through fatigue, and step into the vibrant, joy-filled life He has for us. Mama, I'm living proof that it's possible. These days, I wake up refreshed, nourish my body with intention, and navigate the chaos of motherhood with patience and peace. Most days. And I want to help you do the same. If you're ready to swap exhaustion for energy, brain fog for clarity, and guilt for grace, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into practical strategies, faith-filled truths, and empowering tools to renew your health, body, soul, and spirit. Are you ready for this? Let's do it, mama. You're listening to part 2 of our God's Design for Food series. And if you didn't catch last week's episode, go listen. We started in Eden and uncovered what food was always meant to be: beautiful, nourishing, and life-giving. But today, we're stepping into a very different scene, the wilderness. Because let's be real, most of us don't live in Eden. We live in survival mode. Between dishes, meltdowns, and that 3 p.m. energy crash, we're wondering where the provision is, both physically and spiritually. Thankfully, the Bible gives us a picture of what God's provision looks like even in barren seasons. It's called manna. And I believe this story has so much to teach us, not just about food, but about trust, creativity, and what it means to receive enough for today. Let's start with the setup. The Israelites had just escaped slavery to Egypt. And what do just a few days into their freedom? Complain about the food. In Exodus 16:3, they said, "We had pots of meat in Egypt. We ate all the food we wanted." Never mind that they were literally enslaved, they missed the comfort food. And honestly, I get it, because as easy as it is to judge them, food is emotional, familiar. We've all had moments where we craved comfort over freedom, right? But instead of punishing them, God responds with provision. Exodus 16:4 says, "I will rain down bread from heaven for you." And this is where things get sweet, literally. The manna wasn't just any bread. Exodus 16:31 says, "It was white like coriander seed and tasted like wafers made with honey." And Numbers 11:8 adds, "Its taste was like that of pastry prepared with oil." Okay, I don't know about you, but that sounds awfully croissant-like to me. Are we saying there might be croissants in heaven? Because I'm here for that. But seriously, God didn't just give them fuel. He gave them sweetness. He could have chosen kale, lentils, or barley. Instead, He gave them something that delighted their taste buds in the middle of a desert. Because that's who He is. A provider who isn't just functional, but generous. A God who gives good gifts, even in the dry seasons. And this is a reminder that God cares if you enjoy your food. But here's the real life part of this story. even heavenly croissants get old. Numbers 11:8 says they ground it, baked it, boiled it, made cakes out of it. They tried everything they could to mix it up. I imagine Israelite moms saying, "Okay, kids, tonight we're having manna stir fry. Tomorrow, manna pancakes." They were getting creative because even perfect food without variety starts to wear on us. And here's the application for us today. You might know that veggies are good for you. You might even believe that God gave them to nourish your body, but that doesn't mean they magically become exciting every day. Just like the Israelites had to find new ways to prepare manna, you might need to get creative with your God-given food too. If broccoli feels boring, don't toss it out. Toss it in olive oil and roast it until it's crispy and golden. Throw some lemon on your greens. Add herbs. Add garlic. Add joy. In the Great Depression, people invented new recipes out of necessity, things that required very few ingredients and that we would even look at today as kind of crazy. But these things came out of a need for creativity. Need begets creativity. And I think God loves when we use our hands and our hearts to make something beautiful from what we have. The God who created your food and created you made you to be creative too. If your food feels sad, maybe it's time to add some spice, literally and figuratively. Let's go back to the deeper part of the story. Manna wasn't just sweet, it came with structure. In Exodus, we find a few commands. Only gather enough for the day, do not store it overnight, and rest on the seventh day. This wasn't just a meal plan, it was a trust exercise. God was teaching them to depend, not hoard, to receive, not control, to pause, not hustle. That's not easy for us mamas. We live in a meal prep, Costco bulk buy, never run out of snacks kind of world. And while planning ahead is wise, it's easy to slip into fear. What if it's not enough? What if I don't have time later? What if I can't keep this up? And I know this all too well myself as a type A planner person. I love to think ahead. I love the meal prep and the planning. But God is teaching me this valuable lesson in this season too, that He wants me to depend on Him and not to control everything for myself. But there's also a valuable lesson in the seventh day. Every single day, they were instructed to collect the food that they would need only for that day. But on the sixth day, they collected more food so that they would have enough for 2 days. And that food didn't go bad overnight. It actually lasted until the seventh day, so they had what they needed. Now, this is the lesson here. You don't always need to plan ahead, but when you do, it's for the purpose of resting. I don't know about you, but I have absolutely fallen into the trap of if I prepare this now, it'll help me do more later. But that is not God's design for us. He wants us to rest. And even from the beginning of time, we see His plan for us to have a day of rest, even in a weekly cycle. But the manna rhythm was daily provision, enough for today. And sometimes that's all God's asking you to focus on. Eat today's good food. Rest today's weary body. Trust today's grace. So, what does manna look like for us? Maybe it's saying yes to that leftover roasted chicken and salad, even if it's not exciting. Maybe it's letting dinner be simple instead of gourmet. Maybe it's adding some honey to your tea instead of reaching for sugar as an energy crutch. Maybe it's choosing to stop eating when you're full, not because of rules, but because your body is worthy of respect. And maybe, just maybe, it's remembering that God still gives us sweet things, even in the wilderness. So here's today's heart check. Are you depending on daily provision or trying to store up control? Are you open to receiving sweetness or stuck believing nourishment has to be punishment? Are you open to creativity in your kitchen or letting yourself feel stuck and resentful? Even in a season that feels dry, God can give you food that surprises you, that delights you, that teaches you to depend more fully on Him. Mama, your food doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to point you back to the one who provides it. God's design for food always includes provision, but it also includes pleasure, rest, creativity, and trust. You don't need to overthink it. Just bring your body to the table. Ask God to meet you there and start with what you have. Next time, we're going to talk about what happens when cravings take over, when we try to fix spiritual hunger with physical food, and how easy it is to slip from trusting God into turning food into an idol. We'll look at the Israelites demanding meat, what their story reveals about emotional eating, control, and finding true satisfaction. But until then, add a little honey, add a little spice. Trust that what God provides for today is enough. Mama, I hope this episode blessed you and reminded you that you were beautifully and uniquely made to thrive. If today's conversation spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to take a moment to leave a rating and review. Not only does it encourage me, but it helps more tired mamas discover the hope, healing, and energy they've been searching for. You're not in this alone. Make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Together, we'll reclaim your energy, renew your health, and revive your spirit, one step at a time. Until next time, remember, you are beautifully designed by God to live with energy, clarity, and joy. You're not just surviving, Mama. You're stepping into the vibrant life you were created for. I'm cheering you on.